founder of Radiance Girl Africa. She's passionate about telling stories that promote African history and culture through animation. Her works have garnered international recognition, and she's taken animation in Ghana to the world. She's also dedicated to empowering women and girls in STEM. Karen, it's good to see you. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for stopping by. I don't think I've had anybody that does this type of job on Womanpreneur, and we're always excited to platform, different types of professions. So what is it exactly that you do?
So I'm an animator. What most people know as cartoons.
Yeah. Okay, so you make cartoons.
Yes.
Yes.
So I create animations, and like you rightfully said, I'm passionate about telling stories that promote African history and culture.
Okay, and you're also passionate about women in STEM.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Although I'm seeing an A here.
So STEAM.
So women in STEAM.
So science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. So the A in there is art.
Okay. So we've learned something today. We have not only STEM, but also we are STEAM.
Yes.
A new addition is arts.
Yes.
Okay, that's an interesting combination. Somebody might think, is art misplaced in there?
No, it is not. And I believe that's exactly what I'm doing. So with animation, it's more like I'm bringing art and technology together, because we traditionally know traditional paintings, sculpting and all that. But we are combining the knowledge that we have in our art fields with the technologies that are available. So we combine these two, and then we create animations. So graphic designs and animation product designing, 3D modeling, and all these things. It's a mixture of technology and art. And
animation has come such a long way. Yeah. I know back in the day, you would get a bunch of papers and then start drawing, and then as you flip it, you would get some kind of story out of it. I mean, these days, like you say, the technology is it's a whole different ballgame. Have you always wanted to get into animation, fusing technology and your creative side?
From the beginning, I wouldn't say I had always wanted to be an animator, but I always knew I would be in the creative space.
Okay.
Because growing up, I was a fan of animations. I watched animations growing up.
Which one was your favorite?
Freddy the Ant. So it was not really a popular one. They used to show it on GTV.
Is this a Gen Z cartoon? Freddy the Ant.
Yeah, Freddy.
Freddy. And Freddy's an ant.
Yes. I started watching that when I was really young. So yes, I remember it very well.
You never watched Dexter's Laboratory?
I did. I did.
Oh, that one is, I'm going too far. Yes. Johnny Bravo. I did watch Johnny Bravo. Some of the other ones. Okay, so you've always enjoyed animation.
But then there wasn't the possibility of doing that. I didn't imagine that I could do that. So I thought, because growing up, you are limited to what you see people do around you. And all I saw people in the creative space doing at that time, I knew people who paint, people who paint on school buildings, they would do those illustrations on school walls and all that, those muralists. So I thought probably I would end up like that, because growing up, I used to draw, I used to paint and all that. And then I think after high school was when I discovered that at NAFTI, it is possible to study animation.
Okay.
So then I was like, okay, then this is exactly what I want to do.
If you're watching us on Facebook, you'll see some of Karen's animations there streaming on Facebook. So what is the inspiration? How do you get your inspiration when you make your animation? I can see obviously a lot of, shall I say, Ghanaian influence. I see Kente, and of course people that look like me. Is that the only kind of animation that you are currently interested in?
For now, yes. Like I said, I was a fan of animation, and growing up, I think after 8 years and above, I started watching Barbie. So Barbie as the island princess, Barbie as Rapunzel, and I always I thought, what these things do to you is it programs your mind. And you now start to try to position yourself in there, but then it doesn't fit you.
That's not your reality.
Exactly. You see characters with long blonde hair.
That's right.
Really slim characters. And then I would see my aunties, and none of them look like that.
Yeah.
And I knew that I was definitely not growing up to look like this.
Indeed.
And then whatever you see them do, you cannot really relate to it because your mind is like, okay, there is a world out there where things like this happen.
I mean, somebody's playing in the snow.
Exactly. You cannot relate.
Yeah.
Exactly. So growing up, I made it a point that, okay, if I want to do animation, then I will focus on representation because it really matters. And one interesting thing that I watched some years back was in a school where they did this kind of research. Right. And they brought the children a black doll and then like a white, a light scarlet skin doll. And they asked the kids, so which one do you think is evil? They all pointed the black doll. Even black kids.
Yeah.
Which one do you think is smart? They will all point the white doll, you know. So it's more like programming that's right. Our content does to us unknowingly, you know, subconsciously as you keep watching and seeing light-skinned people, white people doing amazing things. As a black kid, you don't see characters like that doing anything. So you grow up thinking, I cannot do this. These things are for specific kind of people, which is wrong. So I made it a point that if I would tell stories, I would tell stories that our children will see our people doing amazing things. I'll project our history and make them love and feel proud that they are from our parts of the world.
I think that's an awesome motivation.
Yeah.
And also infusing your culture into your art as well. I mean, what is the point if you're not going to, you know, fully represent who you are in the work that you do? So then, Nafti, how long does one have to study this animation for to, you know, shall I say, effectively pass the course or whatever the case may be?
Well, NAFTI, I think they have a certificate course, which is about 6 months, and then they have a diploma course, which is 1.5 years to 2 years, and then they have a degree course, which is 4 years. But I would say that animation is something you study for a lifetime because now there are always new softwares, new technologies. Right. It's always being upgraded. So you have to keep learning, relearning, and unlearning. So it's a whole lifetime. As long as you would be an animator, you'd have to keep learning. And
what option did you do? Did you end up actually going the NAFTI route, or have you been self-taught, or have you done different courses?
I think it's a combination.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I learned the basics at NAFTI, but then from there, new softwares kept coming. So I would have to learn all these softwares, new techniques, new styles.
And I guess like with anything else, it's a lot of practice and a lot of man hours that you have to put in there to learning. Some of us try to even do Photoshop. I mean, it takes a lot of dedication, you know, and you need to be passionate about what it is that you're doing. So somebody might ask, okay, I want to get into animation and this is exactly what it is that I want to be doing. They might be thinking, will I actually make money out of it? Practically, what are the avenues, you know, for making money with this skill?
I don't even know how to say this so that it doesn't sound like I'm exaggerating. I'm actually not. I believe, I have this saying that I say that the future is animated because where I see our world evolving into and what the new things that are coming, I believe that the future is indeed animated, literally, because now animation is in every field. If you go into health, if you go into banking and finance, you know, education, as for entertainment, strongly in there. And so I believe there is money. Even currently, there is money. And in the future, it will keep growing and it will keep escalating.
That means you should be excited about your position, maybe as a pioneer of sorts. And as you get better, you know, you can pass on that knowledge. So is it a thing where, okay, companies might see the work that you've done and they think, okay, I'm going to commission you for such and such. Is that what you're currently doing?
Yes.
Okay.
So what most of us in our part of the world do, because we don't have structures or systems that more like provide funding for what we do, and animation is very expensive. You know, the machines, even the time, if you have staff or a team you are working with, and it's not something one man can sit down and do, you know. So you need a team and you have to pay them and all that, and we don't have structures put in place to support some of these projects that we do. So mostly what we do is we work for companies, and then with that money, we push it back into what we call our passion project, something like what you just saw, which is like a film that I have created on my own. So the money that we get from the works that we do for companies, the commercial work that we do, we push it into our passion projects.
You've been out of the country for a little while, and I know in other parts of the world, animation is maybe more far advanced here. Or are we on par, would you say? Or we're catching up?
We are catching up.
That's a nice way to say that we did back.
Yes. No. Actually, if you have asked me this question like a year ago, I would have given a different answer. But I think the only thing setting us back is exposure. Because when I put out the post on my current project that I'm looking for 3D generalists to work with, I was shocked the number of people that reached out to me.
Okay.
And their works are good.
Wow.
I can boldly say better than most of the works. I mean, I've had the opportunity to attend some film festivals, some training.
Whereabouts?
Where have you been
to?
In France.
Okay.
The biggest animation film festival at Annecy. And I've visited studios in Milan and some other in Madagascar and some other places, And I've seen the works they are doing. They are doing amazing. But then when I saw what these guys in Ghana are doing, first of all, without the right equipment, because when you go outside, they have the gadgets, they have the machines.
Right.
One guy from Tamale has just one laptop that is not even powerful like that, but if you see the work he's doing with this, if he had that resources that those people have,
we would all be blown away.
That would be amazing, So I believe we have the talent. I believe we have the skill. And these people, most of them are self-taught. They didn't even go to school to study it and all that. And they are doing amazing. So imagine if they had that kind of exposure that the people out there had, or they have the machines that they have.
You can only imagine. Now, I know you've been talking about this passion project. Tell us more about it. I think that's what we saw excerpts of. I see somebody running around in Kinte, one baby in diapers. There's trouble on the mountain. What's the story all about?
Yeah, so since I put this content out there, most people say, Karen, we see you in this story. I think this story is for all the women who find themselves in heavily male-dominated fields.
Okay.
And as you mentioned earlier, I'm very passionate about STEAM. So, in the technology, in the engineering, mathematics and science field, these places are heavily male-dominated.
That's right.
And I am just more like telling a story from the past just to reflect what women in these spaces are going through. So the title of the animation is Abrefi Koto.
Abrefi Koto?
Yes.
Okay. Is that Abrefi Koto doing somersaulting?
Yes.
Give it to them.
Yes.
Abrefi Koto means business.
Yes.
A bit of romance in there. Anyway,
yes.
Wow.
Yes. So it's the story of a young girl.
Are you Abrefi Koto?
I am not.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's the story of a young girl who is a daughter of a warrior. And,
okay.
There are some like if you study history in the past, it was not even permitted. Like women were not permitted to weave kente. It was seen as a sacred thing, and women were not allowed to even go near the loom. So Abrefi's mother is a kente weaver who learns from her brother, but then has to hide and weave because it's forbidden for women to weave. And Abrefi is she is a daughter of a warrior. Her father was expecting a son who more like be his successor. But then she's a woman, and women don't go for war.
That's right.
Back then. And she growing up in a community where the men were always training, she just grew up wanting to be part. So she also watches when the men are training, and then she'll hide somewhere and practice, train herself, and she became very strong, almost stronger than all the men. But still, that wasn't enough to be her father's successor. So when she discovered that it was forbidden for the woman to also weave, she decided that no, something has to change.
I see.
Yes.
And so you take us along that journey to how it all unfolds.
Yes.
And if you are not on Facebook, be sure to check out Karen's social so you can learn more, because you'll be actually officially premiering this.
Yes.
When
this
does that
Saturday
happen?
at Silverbird Cinemas Accra Mall.
Very
the tickets
exciting.
are just 50 cedis, so everyone should come and watch.
I mean, take the young ones. It's obviously kid friendly, right? The young ones can go and see people that actually look like them
do amazing things.
That's amazing. I love it already. And like you said, the representation, you think that, we're doing okay, but it has to be more. The kids are watching a lot more foreign content. Probably something like 99% foreign content and just 1% local content. And I'm sure there'll be some young girls there who, watch this animation and are, blown away. They want to be like Karen. They want to be like Abrefi Koto. And so do go out and check it out. Silverbird, you say, on Saturday?
Yes, this Saturday.
Okay, all throughout the day?
No, 7 p.m. So the red carpet is at 6, but the movie will start showing at 7.
That's exciting. That's exciting. Take the little ones there and let them, watch something that they can be proud of. Go and talk about it with their other friends in school. Not every day, like you said, long blonde hair, snow, and so on and so forth. Let's tell the stories of home because we have wonderful stories to tell. Karen, please plug the socials for us so that we can come and check out more work and also get more inspiration.
Yes, so KHPH Studios on Instagram. KHPH Studios.
KHPH Studios.
Yes,
okay.
On Instagram, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, KHPH Studios.
Fantastic. What are you hoping for as the year wraps to close, as we look into 2025?
I'm excited about Abrefikoto already. And I mean, this project, right from the beginning, I always tell my team that this project, I believe, is alive because the project has been deciding what it wants to do on its own, because it started as a very short story. We even wanted to do just a 15-minute short film, but then at the end of the day, we have 30 minutes now, and we are excited about it. I can't wait for the whole world to see Abrefi, pushing it to film festivals, showing it, doing more screenings, for it, and probably jump into my next project.
You're already thinking about the next one.
Yes.
The brain is ticking.
Yes.
Karen, thank you so much for stopping by. Karen-Happuch Henneh, I didn't butcher that, did I?
Yeah, you did.
On point. Is the creative director, KHPH Studios, taking Ghanaian animation to the whole world. She says it's a profitable business. So for those of you who want to make that investment in buying the right software and, putting in the man hours, you can certainly make something of it. Yeah. So the pockets are heavy these days.
Yes.
Breakfast on Karen. Thank you again for being our womanpreneur, and more grease to your elbows. On Saturday, of course, we'll be there to check it out.
All right.
Well, time check, it is some 2 minutes to the top of the hour, 10 a.m. If it's your birthday today, a happy birthday going out to you. But we do have some very special birthday messages to give out. So let's get into the birthdays right about now.